Hi guys, Dr. Mel, busy with physics, and we're using energy. We've done kinetic energy, we've done potential energy, and we're using those two concepts to go on to a concept that we call mechanical energy. So let's have a look. What's the definition of mechanical energy? Mechanical energy is the sum. Now remember, sum means add, plus them together. So you're going to add together the gravitational potential energy. Remember, you've done gravitational potential energy in the previous lesson. And before that, we started to explain the whole concept of kinetic energy. So if you add these two together, you actually get the mechanical energy. And we'll show you a video clip later where we're going to do that mechanical energy and see what's the transfer from one form to the other. Mechanical energy, thus, the sum of the kinetic energy, and you know it's half mv squared plus mgh. So here it's all related to the velocity, and here's the position, which is the two definitions that you already know. Remember, the measurement of energy is in joule, and that it's a scalar quantity. So no direction important here. Energy is used whether it's to the left, to the right, up or down. So it's a scalar quantity. After we've done the definition, we are now going to see what the type of questions will be when you've got to calculate the mechanical energy. So let's read. The ball has a mass of 500 grams. Please be careful. You cannot use grams. We are working in SI units, which we've done in the dimensional analysis clips. So have a look again if you can't remember that. What's 500 grams? Well, it is 500 divided by 1,000, which gives you 0.5 kilograms. So that's the mass I'm going to work with. It is thrown horizontally through the air and it travels at a velocity of 2. So I've got the mass now. I also have the velocity. And another piece of interesting detail, they're telling me the height is 2.6. So let's see if we can calculate the mechanical energy. I know I've got the mass. It is 0.5. The velocity is 2. And please remember the square. Plus the mass again times the 9.8 and times the height. So you now have to work on your calculator very, very effectively and accurately. And you'll find that this answer here is 1. And that answer, that side, is 12.74. And if you add those two together, you'll get an answer of 13.74. The unit is joules and there's no direction. Accurate work, read, interpret the information they're giving me, and then go to equations to see how I can solve the problem. In a second question, a stone is, well, it's not thrown, it's falling. A stone with a mass. So luckily, this one is in kilograms already, and it's a 1 kilogram mass from a building to the ground. It's dropped. So remember, if anything falls or it's dropped, the initial velocity is 0. Now, that's quite important now because you are going to use that value. And the building has got a height of 15 meters. So I've got a height of 15 meters, a stone being dropped, and it's a 1 kilogram mass. They ask me now to determine the mechanical energy, and I know exactly I can use this equation. If I've got these values, I can calculate the mechanical energy, but they are asking me 3 calculations. At the top, 15 meters from the ground. That's the first question. The second question is 10 meters from the ground. And the third question is 5 meters from the ground. Now be careful. Remember, you have traveled here nothing. You're at 15 meters. Here the stone has already traveled 5 meters. And here it's covered 10 meters already. And you'll see now that we are going to use those two in pieces of information now when we do the calculation. Let's see what we have. I need to calculate the mechanical energy. Mechanical energy, as we said, it's EP plus EK, the potential plus the kinetic energy. It is mgh plus a half mv squared. So what do we have? We've got the mass, it's 1. We've got the g, it's 9.8. And we do have the height. We know at 15 meters, the velocity was 0. So this whole value will be 0. That will give me an answer of 147 joule. Remember your unit and remember there's no direction. So we've got 147 joule right at the top of the building. The second question says at a height of 10 meters. So let's just quickly have a look. If I started at 15 and I've been now at a height of 10, I actually covered the 5. So the stone already covered 5 and they want to know what's the mechanical energy at that point there. Well, let's see. Mechanical energy again is the potential energy plus the kinetic energy. The potential energy mgh, and I've got all 3 of those values, but I do not have the velocity there at that point there. So we'll have to calculate the velocity. You know you've got an equation that looks like that. Let's write it down and let's see if we can find enough information. It started with 0. It's at a height of 10. So I can actually substitute those values in that equation. Remember, you're going to get VF squared. So that value there is 98. And if I get the square root for these two quantities, I get VF. The final velocity will thus be 9.899. And I can round that to 9.9. This value here, I'm going to use in this equation here. So let's substitute and get to an answer. It is a 1 kilogram mass. It's got 9.8 acceleration and it's at a height of, be careful, 10. The kinetic energy is again the 1 mass kilogram, and I now have my new velocity that I calculated, and I'm remembering to put the square. Otherwise, you are going to get a different answer. This value here is 98. That calculated to be 49. And if you add that together, you get 147 joule. Just see what we got in the previous calculation. Oh, 147 joule. What did we get now? 147 joule. Let's carry on. They asked me now to again calculate the mechanical energy. I'm going to write this down every time because you are going to get marks to write down the equation. And it gives you an idea what you need and what you have. I do have the mass. I do have the height. And let's just quickly have a look. The height again is 5 meters from the ground. So it covered 10 already. So in actual fact, I am saying 15 minus 5 gives me the 10 meter height that I'm going to use, or distance that it covered. Let's again calculate the final velocity, which I do not have. The equation is final velocity square, initial velocity square, and I've got all these values. It started at 0 at the top. It's accelerating with 9.8, and the height would be the 15 minus the 5, which is the 10. That's giving me an answer of 196. Again, remind yourself that you've got to get the square root. So the final velocity is 14 meter per second. That I'm going to substitute in my energy equation. Let's go and see what we have here. I've got a 1 kilogram mass. I've got 9.8. Now the height is 5 meters, because it's here now, and it's 5 meters from the ground, plus the kinetic energy. And you calculated this velocity just now, and you will find an answer now of 49 plus 98. And can you see what we get again? So, at 15 meters, 147. At 10 meters, 147. And at 5 meters, 147. Let me quickly go to a table so that you can see what we actually calculated. When it was at 15 meters, the initial velocity was 0, so there was no kinetic energy. So all the energy was potential energy, and the total was 147 joule. When it moved to 10 meters, you actually got a value of 98 here, 49 here, and it again totaled to be 147 joule. And when it was at 5 meters, we had 98 there, 49 there, and again 147 joule. Now, a very important occurrence here is that the potential energy is being lowered. Yes, it's true, because your height is different. Your velocity, on the other hand, is increasing because it's accelerating. Can you see from 0 to 49, from 49 to 98? But a very, very interesting phenomenon, and we're going to do it in the next lesson, is that the mechanical energy stays exactly the same. We are going to show you a clip and some exercises that you can do where you can actually see what happens with the mechanical energy and all the other forms of energy when you play around with different modes of energy. Just have a look at this. Right, let us look at the transfer of energy and specifically mechanical energy. We've got this bicycle rider, and you can see the blue bicycle there with the driver having specifically green chemical energy. On the right hand side, you'll see your legend, and that's the types of energy that we'll be looking at in this little clip. So can you see, whilst this rider is moving the bicycle's wheel, it is attached to another wheel, and the chemical energy is going into mechanical energy. And there goes a red one. That's the thermal energy, because that gets heated. The thermal energy is released, and the electrical energy is heating the water. And if you have a good look, you'll see some of the water molecules now being released from that heat that has been generated. Let's feed the driver, the rider of this bicycle, and now you can see more energy, mechanical energy going onto the wheel, being released as electrical energy. The water is heated, and thermal energy released from the water as well as the turning wheels of the bike. Let's take a globe, and we take exactly the same mechanism. We are feeding the rider. There's lots of energy being released, chemical energy going into mechanical, going onto electrical energy, and look at this. It is gathering on the resistance of this lamp, and can you see there's yellow light energy being released. We can also change that to a fan, and this is a rotating action, so you can see it's still mechanical energy and it's being released. Let's feed the rider again, and there the bicycle goes, releasing mechanical energy onto the wheel, and let's see if it's enough energy to turn this fan. Can you see it's mechanical energy? Let's change the rider to water. We've got a pipe of water, and we are now releasing mechanical energy. It's that potential energy as well as the kinetic energy that we did in the lesson, turning the wheel and making can you see the turning of the fan, releasing mechanical energy again. Let's change the water to the sun, and you can see it's yellow, so it's light energy, and it's released on this wheel, and as soon as there's enough, we can actually have the fan turning. And it's all over the show because we know it's radiated. And finally, we've got a kettle and we're heating it, and you can see it's red. So it's thermal energy, it's releasing damp. So it's actually, again, mechanical as well as thermal energy. The wheel turns, it's turned into electrical, and then it makes the fan turn. And remember, it's because it's turning, it's mechanical energy, because you've learned about kinetic energy. This is fun stuff, and you can sit and play with this and see all the different kinds of energies, specifically mechanical energy. Right, that was nice and fun. Please go to this website. It's PHET, and you can find all the simulations there. And there's one assignment that I want to give you. On that website and on that clip, you'll find here you've got a wheel, and that's the one we used. Go and exchange that with the solar panel, and then put the sun there, and you can actually see how solar energy works and how we generate electricity from the sun with the solar panel. So go and play with that and impress your parents or your friends and show them exactly what's happening. Right, let's conclude with mechanical energy. Can you define mechanical energy? Remember the words. It's the sum of the potential or gravitational potential energy and the kinetic energy. Those are the words that you've got to write down when they ask you to define mechanical energy. You'll have to be able to solve problems, in other words, calculate the mechanical energy, or any other form. They can give you the mechanical energy and ask you to calculate one of the units or quantities in that equation. I hope you enjoy working with energy. It takes some energy. Sit down, work hard, and see if you get good results. Bye bye.